Hi everyone, welcome to the shack. Another unboxing video, this time the Tecsun PL-380, and again this radio was supplied to me to test as part of the article on ultralight DXing I wrote recently for Radio User magazine. As before with the PL-330, it wasn't a radio that I owned and wasn't a radio that I was about to go out and buy, so they kindly sent it to me and they haven't asked for it back yet. Again, maybe I shouldn't be advertising the fact, but there you go. Looks similar to other small Tecsuns, the PL-310 ET, obviously, and the 330. This radio has been around for a few years now. I think it's been around nearly 10 years. I've seen reviews from 2012, so it's been around a while. Obviously quite popular, still available. It's got a couple of features that I don't particularly like. One is it doesn't have an external antenna socket, but probably more problematic than that, it doesn't have sideband. So you're reliant upon for selectivity, really, you're relying upon the switchable audio bandwidth filters on AM, which are 6, 4, 2 and 1 kilohertz. So all is not lost, but slightly compromised, I would say. Although having said that, of course, the shortwave bands these days aren't anywhere near as crowded as they used to be. But there you go. So on the box, the usual, Tecsun provide these little icons that detail the sort of features. And on the back, you kind of get a list with a bit more detail on it. And if you're in the market for a cheap shortwave radio at a price that makes it almost throwaway, this might be for you. You can buy them for about 40 quid. And again, I'd probably go out and spend another 20 or 30 quid or whatever they cost these days and buy an XH Data D808. And even though the quality of that product, it might not be that massively reliable, you just get superb performance with that little radio. This is okay, but it's just not the kind of radio that I would go out and buy. But you know, if you're on a budget, Tecsun, as I think I might have said before, you nearly always get good value for money. One thing this does have is the easy tuning mode. So this is where basically you can set the band and start the radio scanning. It will scan, it will save into memory all of the stations it finds, and then you can sort of toggle through them, which is quite a useful feature. I'm not going to go through all the features on this radio because it's been around such a long time. All that stuff already exists. I just thought that anyone who's in the market for a cheap portable radio, maybe to take on a trip or whatever, might be interested just to see what you get out of the box. So let's crack it open. Headphones look identical to those supplied with the PL-330, not surprising. Not sure about the quality of those, but in an emergency, quite nice. External wire. So this is an external kind of or wire extension that clips onto the telescopic, using that little device there. And then you've got a clamp at the other end of the wire for attaching it to a window frame or a branch, whatever. That's quite a useful thing to have on a radio that doesn't have an external antenna socket, although that piece of wire doesn't look particularly long. It's probably maybe 6 feet or something. Nothing stopping you attaching a longer piece of wire with a crocodile clip. You just want to avoid overloading the radio with strong signals. I'm not sure what the dynamic range specification of this radio is, but I'll bet it doesn't handle very long or very large antennas. Right, the radio itself, out of the bubble wrap. There it is. Quite small, compact, neatly designed, similar it's sort of generically to a lot of small Tecsun radios. It's got a little stand at the back so you can operate it sort of almost horizontally. You've got a switch for switching on the light, snoozing the radio, a timer obviously. 5-volt input DC, so I think if you fit this radio with rechargeable batteries, I think you can plug it into a USB adapter and charge them without having to take the batteries out. Headphone socket, tuning and volume. A manual, which is even smaller than the manual for the PL-330, 29 pages, tiny. As I said before, I don't tend to read them. And a little pouch, which is actually a slight improvement on the PL-330. This has got an actual zip on it. The PL-330 pouch was a bit like a duffel bag with a draw cord that didn't really work very well. So that's quite a nice touch. So power it up. I've already put some batteries in it. I cheated. Let's go medium wave, he says. Radio 5. Long wave. Radio 4, shipping forecast.
Northwest 4 to 6, showers, good. Northwest Biscay, southwesterly 3 to 5.
Shortwave. Not going to hear anything on shortwave, obviously, with a telescopic antenna. Or are we? No. Bandwidth filters. 2 kilohertz. 1 kilohertz. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. So there you go. Audio's alright, actually.
Very different, that car and white track, if I had been. I'm not your spy.
Rain, occasionally pours. Malin, Hebrides, Bailey, Cyclonic.
So there you go. That's the PL-380. It's got DSP. For what it's worth, quality of the construction, it does look a bit cheap, I have to say, but in saying that, it's cheap to buy. And you get shortwave from 2.3 all the way up to 21.95 kilohertz, so it doesn't actually go all the way to the end of HF, but nice touch to have long wave. And obviously FM as well. So I would say if you're in the market for a radio to take on a trip, and you don't want to, you don't want to be too upset if you lose it or you drop it or whatever, this radio might be the one for you. Beyond that, the sensitivity actually of this is actually very similar to the PL-330. There's not much in it. The difference with this radio, as I said, is that it doesn't have sideband, and it doesn't have an external antenna socket, so you're kind of restricted slightly. But overall, as you normally get with Tecsun, you get decent value for money. And there's probably not much point me going through any more of the features on this. I'm just toggling through the display, alarm time, temperature, time, and then signal to noise. There's a little button here for FM stereo, so when you're in FM with the headphones, you can listen in stereo, which is a nice touch. So there you go. That is the Tecsun PL-380. So there you go. That's it. Not much more to add, really. It's decent little radio, cheap and cheerful. And if you're in the market, as I said, for something that's almost throwaway, this could be the one for you. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that and it was useful. Thanks for watching.